hey, it's so much easier just not to do it. It's easier not to do it. It's easier for you not to do the thing, not to do the thing you're scared of, not to start the podcast, not to start the business, not to come back to work in your business, not to do the hard. It's easier not to do it. And I found myself so many times last week saying that to my husband. It's just easier not to do it. Actually, I left out a really important piece. I recorded the podcast. We'll do the intro of the podcast in just a second. But there was a really important piece that I left out that I wanted to come back and let you guys know. But first of all, I wanted to honor you guys that are doing hard things. Because last week I had a little bit of a meltdown and was crying to my husband, which I don't do often and need to do more because I was a stuffer. And I was just like, it's just easier not to do this. I was having technology troubles and a misunderstanding between a couple of people of something that I had said. And like, it's just easier not to do it. It's just easier not to show up. It is. It's just easier not to show up. But that's not who you are. That's not who I am. And that's not what you really want in the long term. That's not why you're on this earth. Your purpose is not to do nothing. Your purpose may take some hard things for you to get through to change the world, because your purpose is not just about you. And so, man, it is so much easier just not to do it. And in the episode, I'll tell you about how I was spinning out of control a little bit the other night, and how when that happens, I mean, like, for example, my husband is out of town all week. I'm home by myself with the kids. The pool is leaking. We have somebody out here every day working in the pool. Our septic tank was backed up. Our heaters stopped working in the last week when it was below freezing for a week solid. So it's just like boom, 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 boom. It was just a lot, and I was spinning. But the piece I forgot to tell you in the episode, because I was running late to pick my daughter up to get her haircut, to pick her from school to get her haircut. Yes, we all have those days, or just a little bit, things just seem to be a little bit crazy. But here's what to do when it happens. Here's the piece. Okay, so in the episode, when I talk about how I was spinning out of control, what we do then when we notice we're spinning out of control, because what are we not doing? Or you'll learn about that in the episode, is when I was in bed having my crying, praying session, I got out my phone. I would have gotten out my journal, but I wasn't getting out of bed at that moment. I got out my phone and got real clear and wrote down very specifically what I needed and what I wanted. Okay? Because it's real easy to spin in. I've got so much to do for work. My marriage is falling apart. I don't know how to grow my business. My kids are a mess. It's so easy to just keep spinning in those instead of pausing, literally writing down, being incredibly specific on what are the things that you can do to move the needle. What are the things that you can do in this situation? What is the next right thing for you to do? So I got really clear in what are the things only I can do in my business, and what are the things I can delegate. And then I got really clear about exactly specifically I want my help to do. So that brought so much clarity. It calmed the drama so quickly. And I was able to, without the fog being there, to clearly see the only things that I can do and the most important things that I can do in my coaching business is me record podcasts so I can delegate out every other aspect of that. The editing, the posting, the uploading it, all of that stuff that was driving me crazy, that's going to be gone very soon. Only I can teach in prosperity with Purpose Mentorship. Only I can coach. I'll have some guest coaches sometimes, and then there's some elements about the marketing that I need to do. So those are the things. And I was like, okay, so tomorrow when my body wants to, I want to scroll my phone or go do this or go fight this fire or go work on this Canva graphic for an hour. No, because those aren't the most important things that I can do to move the needle forward. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure I covered that before you listen to the episode. We'll do the intro in the actual episode that explains this and tells you a little bit more storytelling you might enjoy. But it's so much easier not to do it. And so I just honor you. I respect you. I am proud of you because it is easier. It is easier just to throw in the towel. That is easier. And that's why most of the world does it. But you're not most of the world. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep, even though it's much easier not to do it sometimes, not all the time. I feel like there's a little bit of warfare going on. We'll explain, got an episode coming up about that. Um, but I'm going to keep doing it, regardless if you keep doing it or not. I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm going to invite you to keep doing it too. Hefleys do hard things, whatever your little saying for you or your family is, but I'm clinging to it. And because of it, more people will have breakthrough. Because of it, heaven will be brought to earth. Because of it, more people will have prosperity with purpose. So keep listening for the episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey, I'm Jessica Heffley, and I am the coach for the overwhelmed business owner. You've been on the Hot Mess Express far too long. Ready to get off? Well, welcome to the Prosperity with Purpose podcast. I'm here to help you better steward your life so you can multiply your business. That's what you want, right? You've been searching for something more, something different from how the world does it. You long to reduce anxiety, create more peace, and make more money, which is why God led you here. You're a person of purpose who lives on purpose, and it's time for you to truly prosper. Welcome back to the Prosperity with Purpose podcast. I'm Jessica Heffley, and I thought I was supposed to outgrow this. I thought I was supposed to outgrow fear. You think as being like a business coach, a life coach, knowing every single tool, and just kind of coming of age, I'm 41 now. Fear is for little kids who are scared of the dark, right? I had some realizations I wanted to share with you because I think it's pretty relatable on where you are in your business. Is fear. Like it just rears its little head sometimes, doesn't it? And it doesn't always come up. You don't even realize that at first that it actually is fear is what's showing up, but it shows up as, oh, I'm going to not do that. Or, oh, I'm not going to have that hard conversation. Or, oh, I'm not going to post that. Or, oh, I'm not going to start making reels. Or, fill in the blank. And if you really uncover it, it's fear. Like you're scared. You're scared of what people will think of you, scared it may not work out, scared people won't sign up for your program or buy your product or fill in the blank. But listen to me. Fear is the fertilizer of growth. Sometimes I just laugh because I don't like cliche sayings. I don't like to do things how everybody else does them. So when it's like this catchy little cheesy saying, I get a little sarcastic, but fear is the fertilizer of growth, okay? Because in order for you to grow, has to be some sort of fear that you overcome. It's important for us to remember those people that you envy on social media, or maybe these professional athletes, or professional network marketers, or professional, CEOs of businesses. And we look at them and we think, oh, they've got their shiz together. Like, oh, must be nice. Oh, they've got it easy breezy, or those business owner must be ranking in the dough, or whatever your thought is, when really they have had to overcome and are currently, I promise you, still working through fears. But if you are seeing growth as an outcome in their life, if you're seeing growth as a fruit of their life, it's because fear is the fertilizer. Oh, yes, let's use that fruit analogy. If you can judge, you can see if something in somebody's life is working by its fruit. What is it producing? And how does fruit grow, or how does somebody produce something? Okay? It's fertilized. It's fertilized by fear. Okay? So congratulations to you if you are on the cusp of doing something scary. Do something scary every single day to ensure your growth. But I was thinking about this in bed last night. Because I was having a little bit of a freak out moment. And I was like, and I freaked out. And I was like, I got to do a podcast episode about this and tell them about this. Okay. So last night, my husband is out of town this week, all week for work. He's in Vegas at the SHOT Show. It's like a big thing. We own multiple gun and ammo and tactical stores. And so it's like this big thing, people from all over the country. Anyways, I don't really understand exactly what they do there. I just know it's a really big deal for the business. So he's gone. And so it's just me this week. And I have still been I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I have a fear of talking to you about things that are hard for me. But then I realize, no, wait, They have things that are hard too. So let's normalize it, but give you tools on what to do when these hard things happen. So I have last episode I talked to you about how I had a friend that's helping me edit the podcast, but here's what was happening to me last night. I was being a little bit stubborn and I was like, no, I want to figure out how to do it myself. I don't want to be dependent on anybody else. I want to be able to put a podcast out there really fast if I need to. And so, anyways, last night when I'm single parenting it this week, right? So my children are going to need some more attention. It's just me. Judson, our son, goes to basketball practice on Tuesday nights. And so usually me and Rainey hang out and she looks forward to that. It's like her special mommy daughter time. And so after Judson leaves, I'm like on my laptop trying to edit this podcast, or not this one. It's the one on the gospel where I share the gospel and teach you how to do it. Go check that one out. Episode number 81. And so I am for some reason, I'm like, I feel like I have got to do this tonight. I've got to do this right now. When it's supposed to be my time with my daughter, I'm on my laptop, like frustrated and like getting so angry. Like if somebody would just, I'm sure if my friend would just sit down with me face to face and teach me, he could teach me in 5 minutes. But so what took me 3 hours could be done in 5 minutes. But for some reason, I felt like I needed to figure it out. And I was upset and it took so long. And then my daughter was like, why aren't you snuggling with me? Why are you doing this? And I just kept being like, oh, honey, hold on. I'm almost done. This is really important. Got to get this done. Whatever you guys do it too. Whatever you say to your kids to try to buy more time on doing something that's not more important than they are. But you're just stuck in this. So I did that. And then at the end of the night, I regretted it. I was just like, what have I gotten myself into? Like, am I going to have to hire more people? And then I thought about all these other things. Like I want to do a lot of things with our podcast group, Prosperity with Purpose. We have a podcast group and we're about to do tons of engagement and prizes and a lot of neat things in there. I'm like, do I need to hire someone else for that? And then I'm still in my Plexus business and I have somebody else for that. And it just was feeling weighty, right? Which it does when we're being irrational and which it does when we let our thoughts go crazy without taking them captive, right? These are surefire signs. It was feeling heavy. And I was like, wait a minute. Can I go back to sabbatical? Because it was really fun in sabbatical. Everything felt light and easy. And this feels heavy, which is an automatic indicator. Okay. If something feels heavy, there is a different way to go about it. There is something that I need to release to the Lord, bring to the Lord, go back to my partnership with Him. Remember, not trying to do all of it on my own and figure it out and getting flustered and upset. But so last night after the kids went to bed, I just started crying and praying to the Lord, which I had not done in a couple of days. Hint, 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 hint there as well, which was, again, I was like, oh my gosh, I have been trying to figure this out on my own. I have been trying to I've been working so hard and I feel like I've been spending so many hours and getting not very much done. And it didn't feel fulfilling. It didn't feel purposeful. I wasn't feeling like a good steward. And so there you go. I broke down and I was just started crying. I was like, Lord, what is oh my word, I have been trying to carry this. Is this even what you want me to do? And I was like, will you help me find because Lord, you've told me this is what you want me to do. Okay. This is that you've told me that you want me to help Christians handle stress, help the overwhelmed business owner. So send me the resources, send me the people that can help, send me the systems. If I keep my eyes on you, I trust you. And it was just like, I was exhausted. And I just stopped what I was working on. I prayed about it. I took some deep breaths. I got realigned to what my purpose is, why I'm doing this in the first place. And hello, my big, huge verse I say all the time, apart from me, you can do nothing. And it was like a break in clarity. It was like, oh, huh. Like I went to bed and immediately got a download of someone who could help me with my business that I am interested in hiring. And I messaged a couple people and then another one was like, oh my goodness, this would be a perfect fit. And it was just the immediacy of going back to stop trying to do it on your own. going back to God wants to work through you. If your business helps serve people, if it solves a problem, like if it brings the kingdom of heaven to earth, like that is good. He wants to partner in that. So let him partner in that and stop trying to do it all on your own. So anyways, here's a couple of things that I was reminded of I wanted to teach you guys is how whatever you're spinning out of control in or feeling like is so heavy or feeling like you can't get done or feeling like, whatever. How do you want to feel when it's done? Very simple question. How do you want to feel when it's done? And so last night when I was, talking to God about this, I'm like, I want to feel like what I do matters. I don't want to feel like I spent 2 hours making graphics in Canva when I know there is somebody that can do this in 5 minutes. Like I want to feel like I am utilizing my time importantly. I want to feel purposeful. I want to feel like I'm making an impact. I want to feel like I'm contributing in the areas where only I can contribute. Okay, somebody else can edit a podcast. I'm the only one that can have my voice on this podcast. Yeah, but we're other speakers and trainers and teachers. That's not what I'm talking about. But like, what are the things that I absolutely I can do, and how can the Lord provide somebody to help me delegate the rest? Okay, so I wanted to feel like I was being wise. Like I wanted to feel like I was being smart. So I had to remind myself of what do I want to feel like when it's done? Not right now when it feels like, oh, this is a lot. But when I'm truly walking in my calling, living in my purpose, operating in my zone of genius, how do I want to feel when that's done? And I reminded myself of that. And that's what I want you to remind yourself of that. And in line with that, why are you doing this in the first place? Okay? Whether it's your business, what is your business? What are you selling? What product do you provide? What service do you provide? Why are you doing this in the first place? Do not forget your first love. Why are you doing it? You're doing it to help people. You're doing it because you provide a solution. And so when you're spinning in overwhelm and chaos and I can't get it all done and stubbornness and I have to figure this out and I'm the only one that can do this, when you're spinning in whatever that is for you, fill in the blank right there. When you are spinning in, I'm going to put overwhelm, kind of how I felt last night. When you are spinning in overwhelm, what are you not doing? This is the key. Because the good old Ferris wheel analogy, like I talked about in a couple episodes back, like when you're spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, you can't stop spinning. So when you're spinning, you're stuck on that. You're like obsessed with that. You are focused on that one emotion of overwhelm or fear or anxiety or what is it? Because when you need to notice that when you are spinning in that, what are you not doing? Because last night, what was I not doing? I was not delegating the things that could be delegated. I was not focusing, I was not stewarding my time well, doing the things that only I could do. I had to pause and think, oh my gosh, I was spinning in this. And what am I doing? Okay, so here we go. This one simple thing. I want you to starting your mornings with this one simple thing. I like to keep things simple around here. Around here, we keep thinking, okay, God, what do you want me to do today? Very simple. In your business, if you would start each day, God, what do you want me to do today? And God, how can I serve the people you've called me to help today? Okay. I am so over the 1 year long-term goals. Okay. There are people in your business. There are people who need to be in your business or need what you have to offer. And there are people in your homes who you are both called to serve. You called to serve the people in your home, your spouse, your kids. You've also called to serve the people in your business. That is what God is utilizing, partnering with you to steward and multiply your business. So God, what do you want me to do today? That one simple question will help you zone in, laser focus on what needs to get done today that you can do. Not getting stuck in Canva for 3 hours trying to make some graphics beautiful when you can hire a college kid. What do you want me to do today? Okay. And I came out with a list last night of the things that I have to do, that God has called me to do. And I did them today. I recalibrated. I get them today. God is doing a new thing. Every new day is a new opportunity. So fear is the fertilizer for growth, y'all. It is always an invitation for you to grow. So when you're spinning in, fill in the blank, when you're spinning in fear, when you're spinning in anxiety, when you're spinning in worry, when you're spinning in, oh my goodness, I'll never get it all done. What are you not doing? God, what can I do today? What do you want me to do today in my business? Thanks for listening to the Prosperity with Purpose podcast. Head over to jessicaheffley.com to see how we can work together next. And did you know some of the most transformative moments of my life came when someone shared a podcast episode with me? So share away, change somebody else's life, and thank you for showing up. Thank you for your 5-star reviews, your written reviews, and thank you for showing up for yourself and for those you're called to serve. What you do matters, and Prosperity with Purpose is going to change the world.